Good afternoon. So, my view or my perception of entrepreneurship has drastically grown because I had little to no knowledge about how to go about starting a business, what it took to start a business. I knew that you needed some things to start a business, but I didn't know exactly how much you probably need to going into starting a business. And I think I've learned that part. I enjoyed being able to try to put my idea or vision of my like PC store into place and seeing what I would need to get my business going, and whether moving forward it be with a PC store or it be starting, like I know Dr. Coleman, you talked about your Airbnbs and renting houses out or doing something like that. Maybe that's in my future because I've also thought about that, like having a little side business that is making income while I'm sitting at home or while I'm working. That's always been an idea I've had too. There's been other ideas that I've thought, well, this would probably be good to start this because there's not something in our area like that. And I think what I've learned the most is that you've got to find something that is in need in your area and go and put it into play. And I think this class has opened my eyes to what you can do with a little bit of savings or maybe taking out a little loan and a little bit of elbow grease to help you get started with a business, that it's possible. Because to me, coming into this, I was like, I don't know, I think I'll probably need a lot of money, whether it be savings or taking out a big loan. I think if you have the right mindset to go in and start a business, there's a need for something, you have a little savings, and maybe you have to go get help from friends or family or from the bank. That's perfectly fine. But what you have to do is put that foot forward. Start with your idea, put it into place, research it, see if there really is a need. What do you need to put into it to get it off the ground, and then hopefully have it successful moving forward. Also, probably, talking to other people about what they have done with their businesses that are similar to yours, or just getting started with the business is another thing I've learned from this class, is that you got to interact with people. You got to go shake hands, you got to meet people and see what they're doing in terms of their business and how they're running it, what they have found that works, and what they think, maybe they would do differently, or if they're in my shoes, they would do this instead of that. But I've learned that from this course. It has been fun. Like, I've enjoyed it a lot because like I said, I didn't know much about entrepreneurship. I knew that meant you were starting a business or doing something yourself. I knew that. But just learning the little pieces of it that takes to run a business, to get it started, from the licensing to your loans to your leasing to your buying to taxes to attorneys, all that, your logos, your vision, what you have for it. It's more than just going out and buying, a few pieces of lawn equipment and getting started. If you want it to be successful and you want it to be maybe your money, your breadwinner of a job type, then you have to go out and really put your best foot forward, get dirty, be willing to sacrifice a little now so that maybe you can be successful later. So I do see myself maybe later on hoping to start a business. I'm not going to say starting, I would say hoping to start a business in my area for whatever it may be needed. And I know I mentioned earlier in the semester I was thinking about maybe even going to law school and pursuing that route, which I thought about maybe too could be an opportunity later on where I open my own law firm. And I think this class has helped me, okay, what do I need to do to build a law firm if that's what I choose to do in 10 or 15 years? What do I need? Where do I start? And this has helped laid that foundation for me. And I have enjoyed putting, like I said, putting my idea for the PC store in place because, if I go the route of going to law school and eventually, opening my own law firm later on in life, that little project that I did for this class would be helpful later on, knowing what I need to do, what research I need to do, maybe even looking back at what my past work for this class and saying, hey, I did this. Let me see, that was a good resource. Let me go back and look at that to help me get the right stuff I need for my own business. But I've enjoyed it. I wish it was longer because I feel like there's so much more that I could learn from this class if it were a full semester, but I did learn a lot regardless, and it was fun. It's nice to have a class that you can actually use your ideas as part of the classwork and coursework, and it's beneficial because it's not just reading a book and taking a test. This is stuff that I feel like I can use down the road, whether it be for me or it be for somebody else, maybe in my family or friends. Like, hey, I learned this or that from this class. Maybe you should try this. That you can actually use the knowledge and information that was learned through this course in your real life. And I thoroughly enjoy classes, especially by Dr. Coleman, that that you can use your own experiences and stuff in your papers and your assignments, and you can take it and use it outside the class. I think that's what makes these classes so enjoyable, is that I can transfer whatever I learned out into the real world, and I enjoy that. And I hope that one day I am, whether it be a law firm, it be a PC business, it be something else, that I can use whatever I learned in this class moving forward down the road, and hopefully my business is successful, or whoever I'm helping with, their business is successful. But I enjoyed it. I wish, like I said, I wish it was longer, but if it's coming to an end, I've learned a lot of great things, and I hope to continue learning about entrepreneurship even outside this class, and maybe expanding and using what I learned in my own business down the road. But it's been a fun class, and like I said, if I could take it again, I probably would, just because I enjoyed it so much. So thank you for a great semester.